Hey everybody, welcome to Eagles Game Plan presented by Toyota. I am John Clark, and the Eagles have the toughest schedule in the NFL over the next 5 games. All teams with winning records, possible playoff teams, and it starts with the Browns in Cleveland. Now, one thing they can take out of the loss against the Giants, they ran the ball well. Hopefully it continues. Here is tight ends coach Justin Peelle on everybody on offense helping out with the running game. Here it is, tape study with Fran Duffy presented by Chickies and Pete's.
Well, joining us this week here on Tape Study, presented by Chickies and Pete's, Eagles tight ends coach Justin Peelle. Coach, welcome back to the show, man.
Thanks for having me. It's good to be back.
So let's talk about the tight ends in the run game, because I feel like we've seen them used in this offense in so many different ways with this rushing attack, and I thought that this drive, opening the second half in the third quarter, really kind of exemplified that. A lot of different blocks by the tight ends. Let's get into the first play here, and this was early on in the drive, and it's really been one of the staple runs for this offense going back to the Super Bowl year in 2017, and it features a wham block. Take us through what we're looking at in the block that Dallas Goedert lays on this play.
On this particular play, Dallas is going to come down and block the 3 technique over the left guard. And yeah, there's some technique to it. You need to have your pads down, you need to have a good base. But the reality of it is, in this block, it becomes a mindset. I mean, I just talked about blocking defensive ends. Well, now you're blocking a 3 technique, and these guys are big. And so you can't go in there half-stepping. You got to go in there with the mindset of, I'm going to take him out. And Dallas does a fantastic job right here. You see, he gets his pads are down. Now, Kelce Sua do a nice job of just kind of influencing him. Like, he thinks he's getting blocked by Kelce. Sua's pulling, so he's kind of chasing him. So he doesn't really see Dallas on this particular play. And Dallas does a nice job of getting in his lap right away with low pads, hitting him, and then just working to finish.
So let's get into now a few plays later. Boston Scott races down the left sideline, 56-yard touchdown. But that doesn't happen without the guys up front. A little bit of it looks like an RPO here, Coach. Take us through what we have here on the play side with the 2 tight ends and what the coaching point is for those guys to help spring Boston.
What this is, it's a pin and pull scheme, and we're going to gap this whole thing out. And starting with Dallas, he's got a defensive end, and he's head up on Dallas. And what we talk about here is an influence reach, where you're going to take a step with your right foot to get the guy to kind of half slide in, play a little bit into that C gap, and then take your second step, get it in the ground, take your left hand, and you want to torque him in, and you want to set the edge. Now we are set. You can see we're pulling Kelce and Sua right here. So if Dallas gets knocked back, or if this thing gets strung out to the left in this picture, the play doesn't work, right? So Dallas does a fantastic job of really setting the edge. And then kind of a wrinkle on the play is Raj. And this is a really good job by Raj in the sense that he's gapping it out. He's going to take the first person that crosses his face. And we knew all week it was either going to be 54 or 51 who's playing on the outside. Well, 51 played outside, so Raj just continues on his track. He hits the upfield shoulder, and he pins him. And if you pause it right there, you can see we've sealed the defense, right? We've set the edge, and a really good job by Sua, and Kelce coming around the corner. Sua kicks out 51, Kelce cuts the corner, and Boston does the rest.
Yeah, it's just one of those things where I feel like for fans, the term RPO gets thrown around, and I feel like it's like a lot of confusion. But ultimately for the guys, it's running to the run side, and it's pass protecting to the left side, right? You're kind of keeping it simple?
Exactly, and that's what I tell my guys. I mean, because we could run that with the RPO or without. It doesn't really matter. So to you guys, this is the play we're running. And go ahead and you block it. Don't worry about what Carson does with the RPO aspect.
Eagles Game Plan is brought to you by your local Tri-State Toyota dealers, proud automotive partner of the Philadelphia Eagles. NovaCare Rehabilitation, the power of physical therapy. Pepsi, your new official soft drink of your Philadelphia Eagles. And by the Pennsylvania Lottery. Pick up your Eagles Fast Play ticket today.
Dominate on 3, 1, 2, 3. Dominate. Turn on, crowd. Hey, let's go. Let's warm up now. Outside the numbers, get out of bounds. Inside the numbers, run it to Kelce. Yeah! Get there! Talk to me, baby. Let's go. Come on, Corey. Come on, Corey. Yo. Hey, what'd he say? Let's get another one, huh? Crazy. Miles just jumped over someone all wild. She was cold.
All right, Dallas Goedert mic'd up there, but we've got a lot of problems to discuss with the Eagles offense right now. First time in 37 years, the Eagles were 0 for 9 on third down or worse. So, Mike Quick, what is the main problem on third down?
John, there is no main problem. There's not one thing that you can put your finger on. You know, the quarterback will miss from time to time. Sometimes the protection is confused and they let a guy run free, a drop ball here or there. But, you know, I have to give a lot of credit to the Giants and some of the things that they did on their side. I thought that post-snap, they were making some adjustments that I thought kept the Eagles off balance a little bit. There's no one thing you can pin this on. You can spread it around to a lot of people's in different groups of that offense.
Yeah, and the Eagles offense could be facing this Cleveland Browns defense at the right time. We talked about how the Eagles have struggled on third down to convert, coming off an 0 for 9 performance against the Giants. But I think this defense against the Browns could be something the Eagles can take advantage of. They play a lot of single high safety looks, whether it's cover 1 or cover 3. The Eagles should have opportunities presented to them through the seams. You know, whether it's Dallas Goedert, Greg Ward in the slot, or even a Jalen Reagor in the slot, I think there will be plays to be made for this Eagles offense if they attack the seams of this defense. The Browns have struggled being able to cover the middle of the field. They like to play a lot of that single high safety look. This is where the Eagles had to take advantage of it. And the quarterback had opportunities at times last week in the seams. You can't miss on those opportunities with overthrows or not recognizing it. So the opportunities will be there against the Browns, but it'll be up to the Eagles to take advantage of them.
This time Jones is back again. He pumps, he's hit. They've got him way back at the 40. They've got him this time. Derek Barnett in there, and he had some help.
The inside spin was obviously effective for him in this game. You know, got a sack on it and got some pressures also. And it's just a good complementary move. I think one of the things with Derek that, that Matt and Wash have done a really good job with is his repertoire is sort of down a little bit. I mean, down in numbers. He doesn't need a whole lot. You know, he's got an edge move. He's got a speed to power move. And he's strong with his speed to power. Derek's not the biggest guy in the world, but he does have good speed to power. And then he sets that up with an inside move. And, you know, you really don't need a whole lot else. And he's been closing ground. He missed most of training camp with an injury and sort of started slow. But we're seeing the player that we expect with him, and he's been productive for us on the field. Always plays hard, always plays tough. That's a given. But I think that move and limiting some of his other moves has been productive for him.
Jim Schwartz with high praise for Derek Barnett. Derek is second on the Eagles in sacks. What kind of matchup is he going to have this week against the Browns, Ike?
Yeah, it'll be another big matchup for Derek Barnett. Typically, when you're going up against the left tackles, you're going up against the best lineman on that particular offensive line. And this time around, it'll be rookie left tackle Jedrick Wills out of Alabama. Big, athletic, can get out on the perimeter. I mean, does a great job in the passing game, protection, moving his feet, but also does a nice job in the running game. Shows the ability to move the line of scrimmage when he's matched up against bigger defensive ends. But I like this matchup. Derek Barnett is probably having his best season so far, 4.5 sacks, 4 tackles for loss, 11 quarterback hits. This will be one of the key matchups in this game that we'll all be keeping our eye on. The Browns offense doesn't hold the football very long. They like to get it out of Baker Mayfield's hand. So Derek Barnett's going to have to do a great job at the snap of the ball trying to get an edge on this outstanding rookie from the Cleveland Browns at left tackle, Jedrick Wills.
But the Eagles' defensive line is going to have to win the line of scrimmage, which they did not do against the Giants. They gave up over 150 rushing yards to the Giants, and the Browns are one of the best rushing teams in the NFL. They're committed to the run. Mike Quick, how important is this matchup, stopping the run?
If the Eagles are going to win this game, John, it is the most important phase of the football game. They have to be able to slow down this rushing attack. You know, Ike talked about Baker Mayfield not holding the ball very long. Well, he's not going to hold it very long. He's not going to pass it very much. They run the football. They're committed to running the football. They've got two great running backs. So the linebackers, I think that's where the matchup is. It's how well the linebackers of the Eagles can play. I thought that they were pretty aggressive in last week's game against the Giants. Overran a couple of plays, sometimes out of their gap, but I see the aggression coming on. I see them getting better at recognizing what the plays are, but they have to get better at taking on those guards, coming to the second level and trying to clear space for the running backs. The key to winning this football game is going to be how well the linebackers can scrape and field in the run game.
You guys have already seen just how good the Cleveland Browns are running the football. That is clearly their offensive foundation with two really good backs in Nick Chubb and Kareem Hunt. Now, Baker Mayfield doesn't necessarily throw the ball a lot. He's not a high-volume passer unless a game dictates a certain way, but that's not how the Browns want to play. But what they do want to do, and they've been very good at this season, is creating some explosive pass plays off their run game. And very often they do it out of what we call base personnel, meaning 21 personnel with a fullback, 12 personnel with 2 tight ends, or 13 personnel with 3 tight ends. And that's something that you will see from them. Now I want to go back to a play against the Cincinnati Bengals, because this is something they are really good at, the play-action pass game off the outside zone run game. And here you are going to see the 13 personnel that I spoke about, 3 tight ends. And the one you really want to focus on is Harrison Bryant, who's in the slot inside of Rashard Higgins to the boundary side of the formation. Now, this will be play action. It will be outside zone to that boundary side. Let's start with Higgins, because Higgins really sets this up. He's going to run a vertical route, but he's going to stem inside. And by doing that, what he does is he takes the corner with him and he also attacks the safety. So the corner and the safety are removed. Now the other really important point here is the stem by Harrison Bryant, because what he does is he initially stems hard inside as well. What he's trying to do is create confusion for the underneath defenders who have to turn and try to pick him up after the run action. So he stems hard inside and then breaks outside. Essentially what you're getting here is a 3-level concept, with Higgins running vertically, Bryant the intermediate route, and the back Hunt releasing into the flat. It's a flood concept, and look how wide open Bryant is. So this becomes a pitch and catch throw for Baker Mayfield and a 30-plus yard completion. These are the kinds of explosive plays that the Cleveland Browns can create off their run game and off their use of base personnel. So this is something now that the Eagles, and particularly their linebackers, have to be very, very conscious of, because this is how the Browns go about creating those needed explosive plays.
Oh, that play action there, and you saw it last year with Kevin Stefanski running the Vikings offense. The Eagles got torched by that. So, Ike Reese, what do they need to do defensively to guard against all these play action plays?
Well, the first thing they have to do is trust one another, right? In an 11-man defense, everybody has gap responsibility, everybody has pass responsibilities. So when you get play action pass, it can become difficult for your guys up front, particularly against a team like the Cleveland Browns that run the ball so well. And it's going to take real discipline from your backside defenders and your second level defenders. Let's take a look at a play here against the Dallas Cowboys, where I thought the Eagles defense did a great job of trusting one another and everybody sticking to their own responsibilities. You're going to get at the snap of the ball, play action run to the right side of this defense. You have to let the front side of the defense worry about that run to that side. The key to this is the backside defenders. Vinny Curry on the back end as the defensive end, when he gets those blocks away from him, his first job is to check and make sure there's nothing coming back his way. Right here, he understands the block isn't a cutoff block, it's more of a release block. He does a great job getting upfield. But then you look at the second level defenders. Their responsibility, once play is away and they recognize that it isn't run, you had to immediately look up the offensive players and go plaster them. Great job from Jalen Mills here. Great job from Alex Singleton. And great job from TJ Edwards getting back, finding the offensive players, looking them up. But really, the key to stopping this play was Vinny Curry on the back end. He didn't get fooled down. He maintained backside leverage, and he was able to force Ben DiNucci to hold on to this football, which resulted in the sack. That's great team defense against play action pass.
Welcome back to Eagles Game Plan, and one thing the Eagles are going to have to do in Cleveland, start faster. Over the last 4 games, they're only averaging 5 points in the first half. And Doug Peterson, his first win as Eagles head coach, it was against the Browns. He definitely would like another one here. Check out the PhiladelphiaEagles.com kickoff show starting at 12:15. And that's a wrap on this Eagles Game Plan presented by Toyota. Enjoy the game. Eagles Game Plan is brought to you by your local Tri-State Toyota dealers, proud automotive partner of the Philadelphia Eagles. NovaCare Rehabilitation, the power of physical therapy. Pepsi, your new official soft drink of your Philadelphia Eagles. And by the Pennsylvania Lottery. Pick up your Eagles Fast Play ticket today.